Hello, my name is Cecile Katzoff, and I am AGA's Vice President for Practice Management and Consulting Services. And this is one of a series of short videos on practice management topics. Today we're going to talk about making the right practice choice. This video is particularly important to physicians who are in their last year of their training program, or to a physician that is considering changing the form of practice. What we're going to be discussing during this session is to cover the different styles of practice and the pros and cons of each, to provide information to assist you in making the right choice post-training, and to assist the physician in practice who is considering a change in the practice style. What are your options? Certainly an academic practice is one option. It's usually associated with a teaching hospital and may involve some time spent in clinical research and teaching. Usually in an academic practice environment, the salary is calculated based on a flat salary plus performance incentives. The second option would be joining an existing group practice. In a group practice, they already have an established patient base. They would also already have a reputation in the community with the referring physicians. They have systems in place that have hopefully been successful, and you, as the physician coming into the practice, experience no upfront costs. You would have other physicians in the group to share call with, and usually when you join a group, there is partnership potential somewhere down the road. If you choose to go solo, you can either purchase an existing practice or you can start a practice from scratch. Certainly it involves upfront investment in terms of equipment and build out if you choose a location that is not already set up for a practice that you're looking for. But you do have complete control over the scope of your practice. The next option would be a staff model health maintenance organization. In a staff model, you would be employed by the health maintenance organization and you would receive a salary and benefits determined upon hire. You have little or no management responsibilities, but there is strict control over your working environment. Another option would be to join a hospital as an employee. Again, usually there are no startup costs. There may be a pre-existing referral base within the community, and your compensation is based on a salary or salary plus productivity bonus. But in this kind of environment, you also have little control over how your practice operates. In this chart, we have the advantages and disadvantages of each. In an academic practice, the advantages are you do have teaching opportunities. You also have opportunities to interact with other professionals in the same area of interest. You have the opportunity to do research and often have no management responsibilities. The disadvantages of an academic practice would be that you are limited in terms of your work environment, and you may have conflicting work expectations with those that control your department or division. Usually the salary in an academic environment is less than what you would find in a private practice environment, and you do not own any part of the practice. So when you leave, you do not take any of the practice with you, and you cannot sell your practice to those that are remaining in the practice. In a group practice environment, you certainly can enjoy the economies of scale. The larger the group, the larger the economies of scale. There are usually shared management responsibilities and coverage, and a group practice is generally more efficient than a smaller practice, particularly the larger the practice, generally the more efficient the practice. The disadvantages is that you do have to share control, and there is less flexibility in terms of your practice style. In a solo practice, you have total control over your work environment. You can choose to work as many hours as you want, and you make all of the decisions as they apply to your practice. The disadvantages are that you do have total responsibility for everything that goes on in your practice. It's often difficult to negotiate equitable managed care contracts as a solo practitioner, and you are on call all the time unless you find another practice in the area that is willing to share call with you, so you have generally less time off as a solo practitioner. In an HMO model, you have little or no management responsibilities, and your salary is and your working hours are generally fixed by the HMO. You have limited control over the work environment and the decision making that will impact your practice. For an additional resource to help you to make the practice decision, we at the AGA have published a Going into Practice Manual, a guide for the GI physician. It's available through the AGA Center for GI Practice Management at www.gastro.org. If you'd like to contact me with any of your questions regarding your practice decision or any assistance that you might need in setting up your practice, please call me at 301-941-2639, or you can reach me via email at ckatzoff@gastro.org. Thank you very much.